Welcome to Winning Wednesdays, this virtual live talk show where on the third Wednesday of every month, we bring you someone across the world, any part of the world, who is winning in some aspect of their life, whether it be in their relationship, their marriage, their career, their business, sports, entertainment, music. If you know someone who is winning and you would like to hear more about their story, send their information to me at nyamka.farrelly@yahoo.com so that I can bring them to you and share their story with you. I am really excited about this evening's Winning Wednesday, and you should be too. If you've ever felt stuck in a career, this Winning Wednesday is for you. If you've ever felt that you don't have the skills to really pursue your passion, this Winning Wednesday is for you. And if you've ever thought that technology is beyond your reach, this Winning Wednesday is for you. This evening, I'd like to introduce to you my guest, all the way in San Diego, California, Miss Shana L. Moore. Good evening, Shana, and welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And Shana is winning in so many different ways. She is winning because she once felt stuck in her career and she decided to do something about it. She started to learn to code or program software in a roundabout kind of way. Shana, you didn't set out to learn how to code. You were feeling a little bit stuck. Not that you hated your job, but you wanted to do something different. Tell us a little bit about that, how you started out first in coding.
Okay, so I kind of discovered code totally by accident initially. So I was working, graduated from college, and basically took whatever job I could get because I wasn't able to find employment immediately, and I didn't find employment in my field. So that job ended up being administrative assisting for a while. I kind of got complacent there. But basically, I accidentally discovered code during this time as a way, when I found out, for instance, like I had to do a lot of managing of spreadsheets and producing reports. And so when I found out that you could use code to basically automate some of these tasks that would take a long day to complete, I instantly fell in love and became interested and I guess just felt empowered. So that's how I initially found code.
So basically, Shana, you wanted to solve a problem. Here is you did what we're supposed to do, right? Shana graduated from college and Shana went into the workplace and she found a job and she was living on her own and supporting herself. So she was doing what we are told we are supposed to do. And here she is working on Excel spreadsheets and Excel documents and saying to herself, there must be a simpler way. There must be an easier way. So basically, you stumbled upon code because you wanted to solve a problem.
Exactly. Yep.
And in those early days, when you started to solve those problems in Excel, what was that like? Did you feel that you were onto something new?
Not really at the time. I didn't really realize it until I got, into my web development and YouTube and stuff, which we'll get to in a second. But I knew I felt empowered because I could solve problems that my team needed or make things more efficient, and just felt a lot of value and appreciation from my team and my managers for just using even advanced Excel functions to create pivot tables, for example, and just make everyone's life a lot easier. So it was empowering.
Okay, so you started to feel empowered, and then you started to get more and more intrigued with coding and with software development. What led you to the other steps? What led you to take the other steps to where you are at now? And so let me give you a little bit of background. Shana is a software developer. She codes in 12 different software environments or software languages. And she learned all of this within a year between 2015 and 2016. So a lot happened within a short period. Early out, how did you know where to go, how to navigate?
So once I discovered code, as a hobby, I have a YouTube channel, and I was just interested in learning how to create a website or a blog that would complement the content of the channel. So that's when I stumbled upon tools to do so, such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I won't get too technical, but basically I just discovered a whole world of web development and, again, wanting to solve problems and create things and create things, but using code to do so. And yeah, I just basically stumbled upon just using Google and finding out what I wanted to learn, and that would lead me to one resource, which could have been an Amazon book that I would order, or it would be an online tutorial, which I did a lot of online tutorials. So.
Awesome. So you're doing all these tutorials, and all the while, y'all, she is building her YouTube channel. So she has a YouTube channel called the Painted Lips Project, and this was being done simultaneously, right? How did that get started? And her YouTube channel is really great. She has over 26,000 subscribers. Her videos have been, what's the most hits or views you've had on some of your videos, Shana?
I actually don't know what my views are.
She is keeping count, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have a feeling it may have been my video about ColourPop lip swatches, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But basically, I started the Painted Lips Project also to solve a problem. I got frustrated when I wanted to find lipsticks or just beauty products, and I couldn't ever see how they would look like on dark skin because most companies don't advertise on dark skin, let's be honest. So basically, I just started a YouTube channel, taking my favorite lipsticks and other beauty products and just modeling them against myself. Started a hashtag called the Painted Lips Project, where other men and women, I've had some men do it too, will just kind of create a community of swatching products on different skin tones. And yeah, that's how that came about. And to be honest, I haven't made a new video in like at least 2 months, but I definitely miss it.
So check out her YouTube page, The Painted Lips Project, where she tests all these different makeup products on her own skin, and it's beautiful. If you see the production work on some of her videos, you'd think that they were done by professionals. And I'm not saying that you're not a professional, Shana. So that's one of the reasons she got into coding, just to do this. How did you start out with that? Because your work is really, really awesome there.
Thank you. So the YouTube stuff was just learning by myself again. So that included learning how to use software such as Final Cut Pro, to learning about what the best lighting is and best camera, best lenses, and not saying I had the best because I couldn't afford the best, but just doing what I could and knowing it was a creative outlet and it had a meaning, and so I just wanted the quality to reflect that I care. So.
Awesome. So you're now building a YouTube channel. You're now solving all these problems on the job place by doing coding. And then someone invites you somewhere to this Ruby Rails camp. And Ruby, tell us a little bit about Ruby. It's a software programming. Tell me a little bit about what Ruby is and the camp that you attended that really got the wheels rolling for you.
Yeah, so I got really lucky because when I learned that I was interested in code, I actually happened to have a neighbor who was a Ruby developer for a huge tech company in San Diego. And she's also the organizer of Rails Camp West. And she invited me to come. And I didn't know anything about code. I didn't know what Ruby was at that time either. I mean, besides the little HTML and such I taught myself, I didn't know what Ruby or Rails was. But I decided to go anyways, and I'm so glad I did because I had met developers from all around the world and got to see their work and hear their stories, what they do. And I instantly knew when I got home that I wanted to learn Ruby, and I also wanted to take coding more seriously as far as like a career change. So Ruby is just basically a programming language. There are so many different types of programming languages, and Ruby is kind of known for being beginner friendly. So yeah, it's just with Ruby you can, a lot of people will use Ruby for back-end programming, but you can build applications and web pages with it as well.
Awesome. So what was the next step for you? So you're learning Ruby, this new program. what was the next step for you that really got you to where you are at right now as a software developer?
So the next steps, in addition to just putting myself out there in the community and attending a lot of tech meetups to learn with. So that was really important for me because that built networking opportunities. But also the other big thing I did was I discovered a program called Learn Verify, which taught Ruby. And it's like one of the programming boot camps, and a boot camp is just like a, very condensed and fast learn how to code schools. But I wasn't quite ready to quit my job or take out a loan to do an in-person one, and I also wasn't willing to go back to school to get another 4-year degree. So I settled on this program called Learn Verified, and that basically took care of, because at the time I was learning and cherry picking from a bunch of different resources, a curriculum, like do this, do that, and that's what Learn Verified offered me. So I completed that program, and that was really, well, that, and in addition to my job actually laid me off eventually, so I really got serious then.
Wow, what a turn of events. So here it is, you're learning something new and you're developing a passion for it, and you got laid off. So you had the time and the opportunity then to really go full force into learning code and to teaching yourself.
Exactly.
How did you do it? Because like you said, you started, with Ruby, Learn Verified, but then don't be humble here. You can code in over 12 different languages. How did you do that in such a short period of time?
Well, pretty much, I think the trick is, so the trick is, and if you're interested in learning how to code, is to get proficient at one language and learn like the foundations of that language, and then being able to pick up other languages is pretty quick. 12 languages is not exactly, I wouldn't say I know 12 languages, but I know like 12 different technologies that you have to use with certain languages. But yeah, basically, my recommendation is to get proficient in one and try to ignore all the distractions and cool things that there are to learn, because after you do that, everything else becomes a lot easier to pick up and a lot quicker to do so as well.
So Shana got so proficient in Ruby that recently she was actually invited, to Australia, a whole other continent, to speak about Ruby, to RubyCon, to speak about how she got into it. What was that experience like, Shana, actually traveling to Australia, and not only just traveling, but speaking on a program that you had just learned, really, that you had taught yourself? What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, because just about a year before, I had been invited to my first, not invited to, I applied to a scholarship and went to my first tech conference, and then a year later, I was invited to be a speaker at the same conference, but in a different continent. So it was really exciting and also scary, but if you don't do things that scare you, like you're not growing. So as soon as I got the opportunity, even though it's halfway across the world, and I never imagined myself being there or speaking about tech or speaking in front of 500 people, it was just surreal, and I'm so glad I did it and had the opportunity to do so.
What was it like in Australia? And this is just totally off the subject on a whole. What was it like in the land down under for the few days that you spent there?
I'm really sad I didn't stay longer. I suggest if you go. In particular, I went to the city called Melbourne, and I loved it. I was seriously though only there for like 3 days, so yeah, it's a quick judgment right there. But it's filled with culture and such friendly people, great food, and the sun. The weather was perfect. It's beautiful there.
Awesome. So what's next for you? What's next for you? You're right now a software developer. You're working at Verve. What's next for you as you continue to grow in this field?
So what's next? It's funny because getting a job is almost like like a fake finish line because it's nonstop learning. So what's next for me is to still have my head down in the books and just keep pounding out fundamentals of programming and software development and being able to hopefully apply those concepts to really just being dedicated and keep studying.
So, Shana, what advice would you give to someone who is feeling stuck in a career? Someone who probably like you went to college, did the right thing, graduated, looking for a job or found a job, but they're not really where they want to be. What advice would you give, seeing as how you kind of got out of that and things happened for you naturally, really, but you are also intentional about learning. You are intentional about growing. Can you talk to me a little bit about the growth mindset and how that helped you during your transition?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the growth mindset because that's probably the most important. It's studies by a professor named Carol Dweck, and she works at Stanford. I believe she's a social psychologist. And she spent decades studying children, and what she found was that there's a difference. There's like really two different types of people. One category is called the fixed mindset. The other category is a growth mindset. And if you're someone who falls in the fixed mindset, you are more inclined to believe that your skills and traits and intelligence are fixed traits. You either have them or you don't. And these are the type of people that if things get hard, you're more likely to quit because you're just going to say you're not smart enough and move on to something else. Whereas someone with the growth mindset is the complete opposite. They take on the challenges wholeheartedly. They understand that the failures are actually just learning opportunities and they're okay being uncomfortable. And that's like the most important thing to realize. So whenever you have like internal dialogue that's like really negative and just a fixed mindset telling yourself down and you want to treat yourself and talk to yourself as if you were your own best friend and always uplift yourself and have positive mindset. It's so important. Whether you want to go into coding, lose weight, like whatever you want to do, your goals, the fixed versus mindset is key to understand. So I think that's the most important advice I could lend.
A growth mindset, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I teach in my coaching and also in my mastermind groups, that you have to want to grow. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It may feel overwhelming. You may feel lost. You may go through a lot of different emotions when you are on the path to growth, but you have to open your mind and know that even if you failed one time at something, it's okay. Even if you didn't succeed this one time, use that as a stepping stone. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What have I learned from this? Or what I ask myself all the time, what has this come to teach me? Because sometimes we have things happen in our lives that we've done every single thing possible to prevent it, and sometimes it still pops up. What is it here to teach you? What are you supposed to learn from it? What lessons can you learn? And so that's along the same lines as a growth mindset. If there are any questions, go ahead and type in your questions now so that Shana can address them. Now, Shana is, really, really special in more than one way. First, she taught herself coding, and she's now a software developer. Many people go to school for 4 years, Shana, to be able to do what you're doing now. And like you said, although you are already employed in the field, the growth doesn't stop. The learning doesn't stop. You have to keep learning and keep at it. What are your ultimate goals as you continue to grow? And go ahead, anybody who's watching, go ahead and type in your questions so that we can get them up on the screen. What's your ultimate goal if you've thought that far ahead?
Yeah, that's actually a really good thought that far ahead. Because right now I'm just so focused on getting better and just learning and constantly improving. It's really hard to see ahead. I mean, I'm basically a junior now, so like the next, milestone for me is to be able to move up a rank within my organization, which would be to become a software developer too. And that would be really exciting to hit that milestone and see that, like, yes, I've learned so much and I'm now going to get paid or recognized for growth, basically. And then also hopefully to pay that forward. So I'm part of an organization called Girl Develop It, and I'm one of the chapter leaders of the San Diego chapter. So I really enjoy giving back to the community and also helping to inspire and connect other women or men who's interested in learning how to code. So I hope, I guess over the next year or two that I can get to that software engineer 2 title and continue my work, I guess, on the ground level.
And awesome, with your growth mindset, there's no question in my mind that you actually will. So, we'll check back with you in a year or two. How long are you giving yourself? In a year or two, and see if you've done that.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. I mean, ultimately, people who have growth mindsets, like, they understand that their future and their paths are really their choice. And even if things don't turn out the way you expect them to, you have a choice on how you handle it. So you're absolutely right. I will hit that goal. Like, I'll probably give myself, I think 2 years would be fair.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Awesome. And congratulations. And we're going to be here cheering you on. Now, Shana, what advice would you give to someone else who wants to get into coding or software development? Because you came from it not, the traditional way. You came a non-traditional way.
Yeah.
What would your advice be who's watching, who's interested in actually doing what you do?
Yep. So if someone has a similar background as me, I think the most critical piece of my path and journey was getting involved with community. So you can go to meetup.com and search for different groups that you're interested in and start being there. Like, start making people get annoyed of your face. Like, ultimately, you're building your own community and network, and that becomes super handy. But also, hopefully, you'll give back as well. But there's so many people that I've met by doing this that when I went to study on my own and I came into a problem, I didn't feel like I was alone. I could always reach out to someone that I met or send an email or a chat or whatever, even tweet or whatever social media you have, and reach out to people that you've connected with who can help you debug a problem, for instance. And I couldn't tell you how helpful that has been. And I still practice this as well.
Mm-hmm. So you started to build community in those early days. That's really important. That's really, really, really important. Where does one start? Where does one start to build community if they're not familiar? Luckily for you, you had a neighbor who was a software developer and who kind of could have given you some tips. What tips would you give people? Where do they start to build that kind of community?
Yeah, say that you're not in a big city like San Diego and maybe meetup groups aren't so prevalent. You could, be super bold and start your own meetup group and see what type of people will flock to you. Your own interest group. You could listen to and participate in podcasts. There's even like social media like Twitter. There's one in particular I love called Code Movies. And every Monday or every certain day they have like chats that you could like interact with people online and get to build a community online. It doesn't necessarily have to be in person. So there's just like so many different resources, and if you're creative and really want that, I believe there's space to find it.
Okay, that's some good advice. So Shana is not only special because how she came about her career, she's also special because there are not a lot of women, specifically women of color, who are doing what you're doing. What does it mean to be a young Black woman doing what you're doing right now, especially in San Diego, in California? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, it's really important to me. I feel like my story is it's larger than me, for sure. And if I can use my story and experiences to inspire other people, who may have never considered this option before, like, I am beyond happy. So yeah, it's definitely an issue. And if you do take my advice and go to a bunch of meetup groups as a person, that there's not that many people there who look like you. So I'm looking forward to being part of that solution and hopefully inspire people and change that statistic.
Awesome, awesome. What you're a problem solver. Let's just face it, you were able to do what you were able to do because you're a problem solver with a growth mindset. And those are two traits that are really, really awesome. You're trying to figure out how to solve things, how to make life better, how to make things easier. Share with us, are there any major problems or things that you're working on solving or creating right now that you can actually share? Because I know that a lot of these things are really quiet and top secret, things ready to release.
I was asking, are you asking for non-technical problems? I was like, at work.
No, as it relates to what you're doing, as it relates to the work that you're doing.
Sure.
And you don't have to go into too many details or too many technicalities.
Yeah, I try not to jeopardize my job or what they do. But basically, being a software engineer is exactly that. If you are someone who doesn't like puzzles, you're not probably going to enjoy this field very much. But there are so many benefits to learning how to code, regardless if you want to go into this field or not. But yeah, every day I get served problems, which are called tickets. And it's my job basically to solve these problems with code and make features exist or fix problems, write tests, for instance. So yeah, the problems are every day, and every day I literally go to work and not know how to solve them from the get-go. So yeah, without getting technical, I have problems every day.
She has problems every day, and she loves it. So I like many people who wake up, they don't want a problem when they go to work. When Shana wakes up and she goes to work, she wants to have a problem because she wants to solve a problem. That's awesome. Aziza says, beautiful. So, yeah, that's really awesome, Shana. Now, with your Painted Lips project, you said you haven't posted a video in a couple of weeks or something. That's not pretty long. What is going on with the Painted Lips project? Now that you're doing all this, are you going to continue that? Are you going to keep that up, that YouTube channel?
It's sleeping right now. It's having a nap. At one point, I was filming at least 3 videos a week producing 3 videos a week, and now I just hardly have the time. But I'm making excuses, really. Like, if I want to really have the time, I will find it. So I hate to say that it's over. I still love it. Making videos has been a creative outlet for me, so I want to get back into it. I just have been so busy between being a chapter leader and my new job that I really put it to the side for now.
Which is really understandable, but you have so many videos on there that it lives. It lives. I looked through the videos recently, and I saw that you did a Viola Davis inspired look. And so Viola Davis really recently won an Oscar. So your content there is beautiful and it lives. And so if you want to go check that out, go check out Shana's YouTube channel. What's the name of it? Is it the Painted Lips Project, or is it under your name?
You could probably find it both ways. But the hashtag is called the Painted Lips Project. And yeah, you could probably find searching Shana Moore on YouTube. Okay.
Well, Shana, we are getting near our time to wrap up. I just want to really thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing how you got into code by, solving problems for your employer, how you really taught yourself, starting first by going to meetup groups. Like, who would have thought that your interest and joining meetup groups early on would put you in contact with the right people to lead you in the right direction to actually do the learning that you've done. You know, it's really an incredible story how you've been able to, in a matter of a year and a half, been able to learn all these things, teach yourself these things, and really change your career.
Thank you.
So congratulations. It really is an awesome story. It's really an awesome story and a pleasure to see a young person of color in software programming, which is a technical field that, of course, many people are trying to get more women involved. Many people are trying to get more minorities involved. So it's something that is really growing. It's not going anywhere. It's not something that's just popular now for the moment. It's going to continue to grow. So Shana, thank you for your representation in there, and thank you for showing us that, it doesn't matter what we started to do. We can change. We can change midstream if we want. We can teach ourselves if we don't want to spend the money to go back to school. We can find innovative ways to teach ourselves, as you did. You used many different online resources, took many different online courses where you taught yourself much of what you know right now. So you're really an inspiration with how you've done everything. And I just want to say thank you so much. I'm going to be checking back in with you in about 2 years.
Nice.
In about 2 years, just to see where your progress is and how much you've grown. And you're such an inspiration. So thank you so much for joining. Do you have any final words? Where can people find if they want to learn a little bit more about you and a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. I guess the easiest way is shanalmoore.com. You'll find my blog. I think but yeah, feel free to reach out and email me, and you'll find my email there as well. And if you're interested in code, or if there's any resources I can connect you with, I'd be happy to help.
Thank you so much, Shana, for joining us on this Winning Wednesday. Thank you, everybody who has viewed, who's commented. Thank you guys for joining me, and stay tuned next month, the third Wednesday, where we're going to have another Winning Wednesday. If you know someone who's winning in some aspect of their life, relationship, job, career, music, whatever, if someone is winning and you'd like to share their story, contact me so that we can share their story together. Remember, keep working to win and keep winning. Love you guys. Have a good evening.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.